Hello, my people. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Mike at Night. How are you all doing? How's everybody out there today? All right. Let me make sure that we have everybody on. Let me encourage you to invite your friends and your family to join us. We are live. Should be both on YouTube. All right. So we both on YouTube and on Facebook. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rock and come in, my people. Rock and come in. How's everybody doing? Alright, so if you're there, just let me know that you're inside. Let me acknowledge you. We have a very interesting topic this evening, and we're inviting you to join us for this topic that we have on. Alright. Good evening, Manuelin Pierre, St. Thomas. Thank you very much for joining us. Alright. Rock and come in, people. Share the live, share the live. Here's what I want you to do, because we are both live on Facebook and on YouTube. I want you to go to YouTube and press subscribe and ring the bell. Press the bell so that you are notified every time we go live, so that you will be well aware. And on Facebook, if you are not a follower of my Facebook page, please do so now. Just go up there and press follower. Okay, I'm looking forward to you doing that. Share the live and invite somebody to join us on this special edition of Mike at Night. Let me apologize that last week, we were not able to do the Mike at Night, and that was because I was out of the country. Let me say hello to all those great Guyanese people that I met when I was out of the country. All of you wonderful people. Guyana is a lovely place. The Guyanese people are wonderful people. Yes, so I was very happy to meet them. Okay, my people. Let's welcome you. Josiane, you're early tonight. Rock and come in, my girl. Rock and come in. That's right. Yes. I wonder if I had sent it to my young sister. Yeah. All right. Okay, Shirley Gopal, good evening to you. Nice having you. Invite your friends to join us. We're going to have a wonderful discussion this evening. Alright, we're just making sure that everybody get a chance to log in. Alright, who do we have on? How has your day been? Boy, I tell you, these days have been really hot. I know that some of you all are steaming with the heat that we're having. Yes, but what can we do? These are the times, the signs of the times they call it. Alright. Chef, you're late. We started on time today. You're walking in class late, my boy. We want to start early in order to accomplish and cover much ground. Yes. All right. All right. So I think we could probably consider moving along now. Let me say to those um, who have been saying on Facebook that Mike trying to cut out the program in the smart canceling program. No, as I said, I was with the lovely people of Guyana and doing some work there, and it was a very lovely time mixing and mingling with my Guyanese people. And I saw somebody write that I'm making more money than on Mike at Night, so I don't care about all y'all. I care about y'all. I love y'all. I want to be around y'all. But you know, when push come to shove, what else must you do? Chef say you need now remember. No, chef, I can't believe you, chef. What is this? Anyway, so let me tell you, we are going to discuss a particular matter that took place in Trinidad and Tobago. For you people outside, I'm sure that you all know about it already because I think it is known worldwide about an incident with a couple. And going forward, people have been sending me some of their own stories and asking me to raise some of those issues and to get opinions, to hear my opinion on some of the personal things that they go through. Going forward, over the next couple of weeks, we'll use a series to try and do that, to help people break down some of the challenges that they experience in relationships and how that impacts upon you. So that is what we're going to be doing from here on in. We're going to use real life stories and dissect it and see how we could learn from it and how we could have done better. Tonight we start off with the Terence effect, and I'll give you this story about Terence. I want us to also keep in mind, let's be respectful and recognize that this is a sensitive thing, and a lot of people are hurting because of the revelations that came out in this particular story. And I want us to be able to deal with it from as mature and civil a manner as is humanly possible. Alright? So Rock and come in. I want to make sure that you're all in. Yes, so Marcia Saunders, nicely, I see you. Rock and come in. Who else we see there now? Right? All of you all, we appreciate having you all. Okay. So one of the things that I want to tell you is the Terence effect. I want to extend sympathy to the couple, both of Mr. Terence, his wife, his parents, and the lady in question, because they must be going through a really, really painful, hurtful, and embarrassing time. So therefore we should take no glory in the pain of other people. And the reason why I say so is because the Bible did say in Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 5, whosoever makes fun of beggars insults their maker. Whoever laughs at someone else's trouble will be punished. Let me say that again. Proverbs 17 verse 5. You look it up. Whosoever laughs at someone else's trouble will be punished. So, coming out of the story that I will be telling you, people have made so much fun of this gentleman and his wife and this lady and even his parents that you ask yourself, you know, what if one of them commits suicide because of the extent of public embarrassment? You see, the old people used to say, when your brother's bed catch fire, or when your brother's house catch fire, with yours. And they also used to say, what ain't meet you ain't pass you, which means it is coming. I know that the Bible did say in Proverbs 26 and verse 27, whoever digs a pit will fall in it. If someone rolls a stone, it is said, it will roll back to you. So whatever it is you do for other people, it's going to end up with you. So let us not therefore be in merriment when you see somebody in trouble, whether the trouble was their fault or not. let's really sympathize. Um, Hodge Chef says there are way too many toxic relationships in the land. Yeah, absolutely. So, let me give you this story for those who may not be okra with the story itself. Let me give you what has taken place. Recently, a video surfaced where a lady called together a family meeting of a husband and his parents. This is how I understand that the relationships run. And she broke the news to the parents. Are you aware that Terence is going to have a child? It is heard in the background, supposedly coming from the father, where the father said, extravagant news, apparently thinking that it is for both his son and his son's wife. And then the wife breaks the news that it is not for her, it is for another woman who is 10 years the junior of her husband. And the wife unleashes a barrage of evidence of saying that she has pictures of them having sex in a hotel or motel. She has pictures of his car outside the girl's home. She also is aware that her husband has taken her child to meet the lady, and a number of other things that she gave out like rapid fire, exposing the man while at the same time recording him. And Mr. Terence is sitting in a discombobulated manner, completely out of it, and can hardly give a retort, because not only is she making the accusation, she is coming and back it up, claiming to have evidence, also calling out names of the person. She accuses him of not doing anything, not spending any money in the house, but yet running woman. Right? So that is where that situation is as far as that is concerned. We are all an unfortunate and sad situation for all involved. Thank you very much, because that's what we want to be able to see it as. Because let me tell you, there are a number of people who laughing Terence and his family, and you don't even know you're going through the same thing. You getting horn and you getting boot, and you don't know. So therefore, don't be too hasty to be laughing at Terence. You see? So what we want to do today is to look at the situation, get a teachable moment. What could have been different? Could this have turned out differently? There's no justification, there's no side that we're batting for, and there is no horse we have in this race. This is just a matter of dissecting the situation, because all of us are just one step away from Mr. Terence's situation, his wife, and this lady. Alright? We also, social media is not for family and personal private issues such as relationship. Alright? Thank you very much for sharing that. So, having said that, there are things that we do not know. And the thing is, we speak so much about things that we do not know. So what I just called out to you is what was said on the video. Those are the things that we know, but we don't know how much of it is true, because one of the accusation of pregnancy of the lady who is 10 years the junior of Mr. Terence, the lady had a video that dispelled or attempted to dispel that notion that she is pregnant. So we don't know how much of it is true. But of course, you know, a gullible social media just like the act. So one of the things we do not know is Terence's side of the story, because Mr. Terence was so shell-shocked that Terence never had a chance to say anything more than to breathe hard while he's hearing all of this. And I could imagine the kind of shock that you're going to have the kind of espionage that this lady went through to be able to unearth the information that she was able to gather. It shocked him, and of course it shocked everybody else who watched the video, because one would say she did such investigative work that even it may have made the police look shy, because she was able to unearth it. So one of the things we don't know is, what is Terence's story? What is his side? And what was the true state of their relationships before we got ourselves into it? Because we watch things happen and we don't know what may have been going on. Two things may have been going on. Number one, Terence may have been a frustrated man in his marriage and sought solace outside. I don't know. You don't know. He may have done that. But we don't know what pressure he might have been under. What might have been the wife's situation, we also don't know. The wife may have been a frustrated wife for many years that caused her to go to the point of confronting Terence and recording him. We don't know. We don't know if the reason she recorded him was because she has made the accusations on numerous occasions, to which Mr. Terence denied. So she amassed empirical evidence in order to be able to dispel and disabuse himself of any attempt to defend himself from what she was about to unleash on the family. So, was she burdened by a wayward Terence for years and she met a breaking point? We really don't know. You see? So let's look at some lessons we could learn from this situation, having heard it. So those of you who join us late, you missed the whole preamble, and that preamble is necessary as we go into it now. Alright? So just remember, share the live. We are both on Facebook and we are on YouTube. You go to YouTube, look for my name, Michael Stewart, but if you press subscribe and ring the bell, press the bell, it will notify you every time I go live. Okay? Make sure you do that. And if you have not started following my page on Facebook, just press follow and make sure that you be part of the numbers of persons that we have as followers of my program. Okay, so let's talk about some lessons that we learned. Here's what I want to tell people, couples, relationship, people in relationship, friends, so-called friends on the internet are not friends. They are fans. Let me tell you that again. So-called friends on the internet, social media, are not friends. They are fans. It's a fan club. Who is a fan? A fan is somebody who celebrates whenever you are winning, but will ridicule you when you're losing. When you watch football and cricket and so on, and all the people and them praising and glad whenever somebody bring home gold and silver, and whenever people do well in sports, your fans are with you. Politicians have fans who are with them whenever they're winning and they get in office, etc., and they're doing well in elections. But you just lose. And see how committed and how faithful those so-called friends are. Facebook is not a friend. So, one of the things that I want to tell people, and Mrs. Terence, going live on Facebook, I ain't give you marks for that. I give you marks for your investigative skills, but not going live. Because a number of things could happen. Number one, you go live and embarrass your husband. Your husband, let's say he goes and he commits suicide because now he's a public specter. Would your conscience be able to handle that? That's one. Two, which man would like to be with you if you and your husband break up, knowing the way how you operate, to be able to not only investigate but also to make a public spectacle of your husband? You yourself going to have an issue. Thirdly, you have a child coming up. All of this thing is on Facebook. Those are things that we need to learn. Facebook friends are not friends, they are fans. Because they will turn around and ridicule you as long as things start going bad. So people will be on Terrence's side, people will be on the lady side, people will be on the lady on the outside side. Fans. They are never settled. Right? So they celebrate you when you're winning, but they're not on your side. They are not reliable people. Yes? 3, one of the reasons that I'm saying going social media was a poor choice is because a lot of people going viral, personally they and their page getting popular because of your pain, domestic issues. That don't make sense in my book. It makes no sense at all. For people to be going viral and having 2,000 something, 3,000 something and more people following their page because your video is on their page while you are going through a family problem. No, ma'am. All right. Good evening, Jacqueline Charles, St. Kitts Nevis, and Sandra Jack, Tobago. Nicely. Thank you all for joining us. You all walk and come in. We're talking some serious things here. Yes? And post your comments, and I will read them on the Facebook, because I want to know what you think. And as I said, we are from now on, what we're doing is that we are sharing some things that people go through that they asked me to share and for us to talk about, and I plan to do that as we go forward now. All right. So, go in Facebook. I can't support you with that. But we could learn. It did not go in your state, because there are people who are now going to mark you for life. When the Calypso season come around, Terrence, you, your family, even your parents, they have already started making things about your own father, your own parents. There's no good can come out of that. So, another thing that I want to say, Rhea said, I don't think her recording was intentionally to be posted or shared on Facebook. The video was sent to a family member or a trusted friend who leaked it. Alright? And that is the problem. That is the problem. When you record something like that, you shouldn't share it even with family members, because you don't know who to trust. Clearly, if that is so, or thanks for that, it shows that there is reason and good reason in what I've been saying, because now it is now public. You can show the person the video to prove your point, but don't hand over your phone to that person, and don't forward it where they have it and they could do with it what they want. You see, that's an act of indiscretion. All right. So it was unfortunate that it was leaked. So Clarence, so now we're taking all the things that we could learn out of it. Here's what we want to say that we could learn, and continue to post on the Facebook and the YouTube your own opinion, so that we could see it and address it. Although you found that it was posted on Facebook, Terence sat there, stoic, unmoving. He just sat there listening in a trance. But he took no evasive action. I want to say I give Terence full marks for his sense of self-restraint. Might have been that he was shell-shocked, but he could have done so many other things. He's a police. He could have done so many other things, and he did not. So I give him marks for that self-restraint. had he done anything nefarious or anything that would have been offensive or injurious, you would have heard the public, Mr. Terence. You would have never survived us outside there. So I give you full marks for your selfish trait throughout all of the things that have been done. And it tells something to us, to men, that sometimes things get us so angry, and whether what is angering us is through our fault or none of our fault, self-restraint is key. Managing your emotions and not responding, because you could never tell who first hit, who first took first blood, right? So I give you a full mark. He said nothing. A wise man once said, say nothing if what you have to say does not improve on silence. Let me say that again. A wise man once said, this is not my saying, but the wise man said, say nothing if what you have to say does not improve on the silence. If silence is going to be more effective, just leave the silence. And Mr. Terence left the silence. I don't believe anything he said on that day that lady would have listened or that anybody else would have taken seriously. I think his silence was the most powerful that he could have done. And, I remember, some of you know that I do counseling. And as a counselor, you come and you meet couples, and couples would have their various issues and challenges, etc. And I remember that a lady was telling me all the wrongs that her husband was doing to her, and all the hurtful things he was doing and hurtful things he's saying to her and so on. And he's there and he would say nothing. He said absolutely nothing. He just sat there and listened to her. It is sometime after they separated that she came to me and confessed that she was unfaithful. And that is when he disconnected from her. But she never said all of that during the whole period of time. She let him look as the villain. She let him look bad. But he said nothing. I say, so why didn't he speak up? He said, she said that he has never been speaking about it. And I guess that is what caused her conscience to bother her. Because even though she was unfaithful to him, he preserved her image, while she kept tarnishing it and letting him look as a bad man. So we don't know some of these things, man. You understand me? So that's why we have to be very, very careful. So Mr. Terence said nothing. But from my experience, sometimes somebody saying nothing does not mean that they're guilty, or does not mean that they are as guilty as they have been accused. Yes? Joanne Benjamin, late. All of you late people, this is a class that starts at 8 o'clock on a Thursday. Unless we say that we're not having one, as I have apologized for last week program already. You all come to class early. Alright. So, that one, Terence, though you're embarrassed, I'll give you pips for holding your. Because it have men would go berserk, It have men would start to do things and mash up things and so on, mash up the place. Mr. Terence kept quiet, take his bags, and he left. At the end, he apparently did not even interrupt the discussion. So Terence could have also considered getting up and walking away. And I will tell you, if it was in my situation and I know that you called this meeting and you railroad me call the meeting to bust a mark and recording it, I think I would have been one getting up and walk away. We'll talk about this when you're ready to talk and not make show and tell. I was walking away. Terence could have walked away. So let me give you an advice to people. He was called to this meeting and was not told the reason for the meeting at his family's home. Be very wary of when people say they want to talk to you and they haven't given you an agenda as to what the talk is about. Sometimes you take the risk because you think the person is going to be upfront, you think the person is a friend, or you think the person is a family. But generally, because you don't want, next thing you know, is a surprise they're giving you. It's for your birthday, your anniversary, and so on, and you're going and say, no, tell me what it is about. No. But generally, when people are asking you to come to a meeting, they are coming knowing what the meeting is about. And you are going in there ignorant. Find out from people. What is it about? And especially if they are very cagey and don't want to say, red flag. So, that is my advice to Mr. Terence and everybody else. Here's my other advice. If you do attend the meeting and you realize that it's a setup to embarrass you and to expose you or whatever it is, let them hold the meeting without you. You understand me? If you are going to sit down in a meeting for somebody to point out you're wrong and there is a genuine atmosphere that somebody is interested in the wrong course of action that you have taken or lifestyle that you have taken and they were out to be able to help you along it or to point it out to you, that's all right. But not when they are trying to set you up, recording it and all of that, and they are there to be able to pounce on you regardless of what it is. Let them have that meeting alone without you. Yes? What would they post? That you walked out? Right. But want to sit there, they will talk and they will say everything and you are right there on camera. Yeah? Okay. Let me see what people are saying on the Facebook now. Alright. I say people, give me your own thoughts, your own opinion on it. In the meanwhile, make sure you share the live, share the live. Alright, I'll be right back. We take a break for this moment. Okay, we back. Alright. So we're talking about the Terence effect. We gave the story as to what took place with a couple that went viral. When I tell you, hundreds of thousands of views of this video. Alright, Shay Charmin. Oh, you're in class with Brother Clancy. Alright. You excuse. People excuse if they went Bible class and they're coming into the class late. Alright? Charmin boys. And thank you very much, tell Clancy. I said I appreciate the greetings. And I'm sure that would have been a very edifying class, knowing Clancy as I do. Alright. So where are we? So we're giving Terence some advice. And the people who are in that situation, try not to allow people to make highway robbery of you, call you into a meeting and you don't know what you're walking into, but yet they know, right? And when you walk in and you realize it's a setup, you can always just gently, without hostility and anger, just walk out. When you're all ready to sit down for us to talk, because somebody has to give permission for the recording of it, so you can't just come and put on phone and start videotaping. We don't know if you're going live, and we don't know what you're going to do it after. No, let everybody be on the same page. Okay? So, yes. So we are talking about, if that happens, you can afford to let them leave and have their meeting without you. Right? You don't have to remain. You don't have to remain to deal with a family issue. If somebody is recording you or going live, why do you think you need to stay inside of that? It means that this may not be just to sit down to discuss. It could mean that they are doing this in order to take an advantage of a vulnerable situation. You. Okay? So let's continue, because what we're doing is analyzing, for those who joined us late, discussing and seeing what could have been different and how we could have improved all of this situation here. What are the teachable moments that we can get out of it? And as we said, we sympathize with Terence, his wife, the lady, the parents. It is not a nice thing to get into or to experience. And those of you who have a heart would have felt it for Terence. So, we continue. The question that I have to ask is this: did the parents have a duty to exert their authority in their own house to prevent their daughter-in-law from discussing and embarrassing their son on social media? Did they have a duty to do it? After all, he's your son. This is not a discussion to solve an issue. This was a discussion that was programmed, recorded, and so I'm not saying they should not have discussed it. I figure they should have discussed it, but I think that they need to have gone to the point of saying, let's remove the cell phone and let's talk this out. Son, you were wrong. Son, why did you do that? And deal with that. But part of the reason I think that the parents had nothing to say is because you could not go into solution mode, because the parents now don't want to talk on camera. So how can that be a solution? So if you look at the video, only one person spoke generally throughout the entire video. And that is what happens whenever you have to go recording. So solution wasn't the priority in that one way. Right? So, and I think the parents could have intervened. It's their house, from what I understand. Because she called them together, and I'm assuming that they weren't visiting them. And if they were, well, then it's not their house, but they could have been able to exert their authority as parents to be able to deal with that. Charmaine says she believed that they had no idea what they were up to, and when she said Terence was going to be a father again, his father was happy. Oh well, Charmaine, you joined late. We did say that, but along the way, they knew what it was all about. Within the first couple seconds of the video, the parents would have known what the entire meeting was about, because she said so. You see, and I think as parents that they could have been a bit more proactive on that. So, also remember this, when you are going through, and we are all going through relationship issues, that everybody, pastors and all, you could see going through all the issues. Christian people going through their marital issues. Politicians going through their marital issues. People who are not even married going through relationship issues. So it is very prominent. It is very prevalent, I should more say. Very prevalent for relationship issues. But just remember this. After there's a breakup, there's always the possibility of a makeup. So when we in social media put our mouth inside of the callaloo and say what we have to say, heckle the people, what happens after if they make up back? Yes? What happens if after they make her back? I remember a lady was telling me she's never going to go back to her husband, and she don't matter what you say, Mr. Stewart, I don't care, I'm not going back. And I said, well, just give yourself a chance to think it through and work it out, because you could never tell. Because when people are breaking up, they are emotionally charged. She said, no, long time now I'm going through this. That was her position. Probably a year later, I met the lady. And she said, you know, Mr. Stewart, I saw you a couple times since that time, you know, you passed on the mall, and I was on the mall, but I was back with my husband, and I was too ashamed to call you out. Because after I done say I'm not going back with the man, I went back with the man. That is what happens. So when we get down on social media and talk all kind of things about this couple, sometimes they are ashamed to go back in the relationship, though they want to, and though they can make up, because too much have been said, too much heckling went down, and then we'll turn around and call them fools, because it is in our interest that they remain separated. Was she going back with him? I would have never go back with him. I would have never go back with she, and so on. And we get our mouth in the thing. And that is the problem of social media. Why would you want to put your business in social media? Could anybody explain that? Who is out there that cares about you and your life and your business and your private life? Everybody only wants to talk your business. Glad to be able to make it a lunchtime discussion the following day. Glad to make a music video out of it. Nah, let's stop that, man. Stop that. Right? So, I'm looking forward to hear your views on it and your whole ideas concerning it. Okay. Let me see. Alright. Alright. Da. Thank you, Marcia Saunders. Appreciate that. Alright, so let me go now to some recommendations, some more recommendations here. Let me tell you, his wife has all or most of the information. Yeah? And I give her marks for that. The reason why I'm going to give her marks for that, although she embarrassed her husband, the reason why I'll give her marks for that is this. A lot of people in relationships accuse their spouse of things that they have no evidence of. The information cannot be verified. Somebody says something and they just gone accusing because of that. Not this lady. This lady did her homework first and then brought her exercise book to class. That's what she did. And I give her marks for that. Because when you do that, it silences your opponents, just as it silenced Terence. So, do your homework, people. Stop making the accusation just because people say somebody say this and somebody say that. Because some women come with hearsay and some men come with suppositions and some people come with conjectures. She came with incontrovertible information, even though if it wasn't evidence. But you could not deny that the information sounded plausible. You understand? Because clearly, from the expression of Mr. Terence face, when she said she has the video with the sex act in the hotel, it looks as though Mr. Man could not utter a word contrary to that. So the fact that she can actually give such specificity means that there is such, she has certain reliance upon her information. Yeah? So I like that, and I think that is important, to get your information and sit down now with the information and chat with the person. The other thing that I want to say is that when a man is caught or when a person is caught in a situation, come clean. Although some people who laugh in worse situation than you are, come clean. And particularly in the case of Terence, I think it is going to be a faster chance of a make back if you just come clean, own up to the situation once that is true, and you own up to it, rather than trying to defend it or try to put the blame on what she has done to cause you to do what you did. Just take ownership. Just take ownership. Once you have done it, don't put aside the ego, put aside the imagery and so on. She has brought her evidence, yeah, to be able to show, or at least she brought her information demonstrating that she is not bluffing. So come clean. So let me just tell the men out there. I don't know women too well. I don't know anybody who knows women too well. But this one thing I do know about women. Women hate when people, particularly men, try to make them out as fools by letting them figure the information that they have is not reliable, and gaslighting them for them to think that it is their imagination. They hate for us to let them look at them as fool. That is why coming clean is better. You see? So I want to suggest to my gentlemen, make your apology. Throw yourself to the mercy of the court. You are a police. Throw yourself to the mercy of the court. Apologize. Right? Don't look at what she has done. Yes, as I spoke before about all the social media, I felt that was a bad move and so on. But really, everybody has to own their own stress. And you have to own your own stress. That you have hurt your wife, you have hurt your family, you have embarrassed your parents. So apologize. Even though sometimes when a man apologizes, the apology is not accepted or accepted immediately, they respect you for having done it. But their hurt may prevent them from accepting it, but at least they'll respect you for having apologized. So you apologizing not in order to be able to give no impression. You're apologizing because it's the right thing to do. Do the right thing because it is the right thing to do. That's what you do. And advice number 3 or 4, I can't remember what advice it is. Keep as many people out of your business as possible. You can't have so many friends that have your back and your interests at heart. Social media is not a place that you could find those people. So the more people you try to get into your business, where you might be looking for backing, is the worse your situation is. It is hard after so many people speak publicly about a person's breakup, and then they see you back again. A lot of people don't like the fact that you even went back. That is the problem. You all may have made up now, but the public has not made up. So it doesn't make sense. Some people reconcile, but shame to make it known to the rest of people outside here that they make up. I understand that Mr. Terence and the lady has made up. If that is so, then God bless them. Especially when it comes to marriage, it is important to keep your marital relationships going. You see? I can't say much on the next lady, who is 10 years his junior. I saw her on Facebook. She said she did not know the information, but I'm saying, if you are in a relationship with somebody, you win a relationship with them, and you've never visited their home, you don't have the information, some of the basic information that you should have, you don't have, is not a red flag. So that's for me. So that she said she didn't know, and so I can't speak much about that. Yeah. So let me see what people are saying on Facebook now. Michael says Eloise Hines. By the time a woman asks you a question, please know that she has some kind of information antenna up. Yep. Yeah. Many of them have done the homework already. They had the discussion. Charmaine Boyce, if it wasn't for social media, we wouldn't have known Terence and how he became famous. Absolutely. Wait till Carnival come and Calypso's come out. You think he's famous now? Married women especially, the antennas always up for that. Especially in a hairdresser's salon. The antenna up. There's talk all your business in some hairdresser's salon. Alright. So I hope you got some help out of it. As we said, let me just remind those who join us late that from here on in, what I'm doing is helping people. People have sent me their stories and continue to send me their stories and say they want to hear my ideas on it, and I'm going to try and bring some of those. And if you want to bring some, then please do. You could send it to the email that is on the screen, mike@night222@gmail.com. Tell me your story. I would not be calling names, and I would try and deal with it on air and give my own advice as to what I feel should have happened in a situation like that. Okay? So just remember, mike@night222@gmail.com. Alright? Thank you very much, my good people. I look forward to seeing you all next week, Thursday, for more. And let's see if we could help people and educate people as we go along. I want you to be sympathetic and empathetic towards Terence, his family, his parents, and the lady. Let's not be joking about them, because remember the verse that I gave you when we started off. For those who are not here, the Bible says, whoever laughs at someone else's trouble will be punished. Don't let God punish you because you laugh in somebody else who's in trouble. God will turn from that person and turn on you. Let's really feel for people when they make mistakes and they suffer the consequences of their mistake. Because we all have done some stuff that we made mistakes for, and we have suffered it. Some of us have not exposed it, some of us have not been suffered as yet, and some of us have hidden the things that we have done. And because it is still covered up, we think we're nice. Nope. None of us are exempt. My people, great job, says Diane. Hey, my sister, nice. Good evening to all, and we'll see you next week, Thursday, God's willing. I'm Mike at Night, Michael Stewart. Ciao for now. Who said so? Oh no, you're not supposed to share the video. Okay. So one of the things that I want to tell you is the Terence effect. I want to extend sympathy to the couple, both of Mr. Terence, his wife, his parents, and the lady in question, because they must be going through a really, really painful, hurtful, and embarrassing time. So therefore, we should take no glory in the pain of other people. And the reason why I say so is because the Bible did say in Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 5, whosoever makes fun of beggars insults their maker. Whoever